Hello, welcome to the unofficial headquarters of NOAM Olami here in Jerusalem. As most of you know, I am Tehila Rubin, the Deputy Director here at Masorti Olami. And for about the past 2 months, Ariella Rosenberg-Garbatsky and I have been given the important task of taking over NOAM Olami in the meantime until we are able to rehire a director. Ariella is dealing with the snifim around the world that are Spanish speaking, so primarily in Latin America and in Spain, and I am taking care of the rest of the world. I will add that we are also working with Jean Ben Khalifa, who, for those of you who don't know, she's been very involved in NOAM Olami. She's here in Israel. She's worked as madricha for some of the programs. She's traveled to some of the seminars, and we are working with her on a freelance basis until the end of the year, and she's working with me on building a work plan. So similarly to Mauricio's report, I feel that we need to break up this report into 2 different parts, but instead of it being before and during Corona, I'm going to choose before I was involved and after I was involved. So let me start with before I unofficially took on this role. In July 2019, we had our 4th Onward NOAM Olami program in Israel, which is a program for Masorti youth leaders aged 18 to 27 from all over the world. This year we had from France, Uganda, Sweden, UK, Australia, Ukraine, Kenya, Mexico, Chile, and Spain. And they come together for a 6-week leadership training program and professional internship program in Israel. Unfortunately, this year we were supposed to have one. I think it was supposed to actually start a few days ago, but obviously that is not going to happen this year. Then we moved to November, where NOAM Olami had their European seminar weekend, which was hosted in the UK by New North London Synagogue Community. And again, there were representatives from all over Europe. We had Ukraine, Spain, France, Berlin, Sweden, and of course the UK. This was really the previous NOAM Olami director, Ron Alouf's first seminar. And they had the opportunity to get a better understanding of each community and make plans for future NOAM Europe activity, which again, unfortunately looks a little bit different now, but it was a good opportunity to catch up. In December, NOAM Barcelona held their Machane Choref, where again, our NOAM Olami director joined them and led lessons together with the Madrichim on various topics such as Israel, pluralism, and spent the weekend with over 70 participants. Later in the month, NOAM Ukraine held their annual seminar Madrichim in Kiev, and among the participants were NOAM Ukraine representatives from Kharkov, Chernovitzy, again, as well as the NOAM Olami director and 2 shlichot from NOAM Israel. Then in January, NOAM Ukraine held their Machane Choref in Ukraine. The main theme was self-realization, and their slogan was, just do it. They discussed things like Tikkun Olam, generation conflict, respect, friendship and betrayal, and how one person can change the world. They ran an activity about Israel, where they were really able to travel virtually around Israel and learn about the history and possibilities of the larger cities. Little did they know that this would be our reality in just a few months. I'll get back to that later in the report. Preparations were made for an amazing Shabbat, which included baking chalot and putting together a Shabbat video. Again, kind of a little glimpse into how their future would look. All in all, an amazing weekend with over 60 people. In January, Uganda held their annual youth convention, also known as AYA, Annual Youth Association. And this was NOAM Olami's first year being present at the convention in Uganda. It was a convention for over 200 people, and together with the NOAM Olami director, we had 2 shlichim from NOAM Israel. It's their yearly gathering of youth representatives from communities all over Africa, where the goals are to get to know each other, learn together, and gain skills for leadership and hadracha. This year's theme was teamwork, make dreams work. And they practiced how to work as a team. And then the annual NOAM Olami International Seminar was supposed to take place this year in May in Madrid. Unfortunately, last minute that was canceled. And now is the after I started to get involved. I took over the new role, and I just will briefly go around the world and speak about those branches that I've been able to be in touch with. Obviously, we know programming is on the lower end, but it's still fascinating to hear about what's going on in our snifim. So in NOAM Sweden, our joint NOAM and Marom Shaliach Yoni Sandorovich, is finishing up his year-long shlichut this month. And together with Marom and Rabbi Ute from Sweden, we've started interviewing potential shlichim to take over. Obviously, again, due to the current situation, it looks like they'll only be able to go towards the end of this calendar year. But we are hoping that they will be able to go and really pick up the work in NOAM Olami. NOAM UK has been doing an incredible amount of virtual programming. I was able to catch up with the NOAM UK director, Lucy Cohen, who explained a bit more about what they're doing and how they're working on transferring all their camp programming online. It's actually very impressive and very inspirational to see. I'm working very closely with Lucy on the NOAM Europe Fellowship, which was actually an idea that was built together with Reut over a year ago, and it's really exciting to see this come to fruition. The idea of the fellowship is to pair one participant from NOAM UK with two members of a European branch, ages 18 to 22, for a year-long program which will travel, depending on the abilities, which will include travel to the UK and around Europe and regular online learning. So right now, while travel is not permitted and not possible, it's going to be mostly online, which there's still, as we've learned, tremendous potential for that. It's a fantastic opportunity for emerging and developing snifim to learn from established communities like NOAM UK, and for larger and older communities to learn about grassroots activism and innovation. Uganda/Aya. The situation in Uganda is obviously a bit more complicated, but it does seem that their country is slowly opening up. So I'm working currently with the representative there on their annual mid-year agriculture training conference. This year's theme being beating hunger through agriculture in Jews. We've actually never supported them this year because they haven't needed the support, but due to other expenses around the Aya convention, which were much greater, they need our support. So we do hope to be able to support them in this conference for the first time ever. NOAM Germany, I've been able to be in touch with our representative there, Avidan Halivni, who's working on getting the youth more involved in the online programming. He did say that was challenging in the beginning a bit because it's harder for the younger kids to really stay focused on virtual activities, and it's hard to really build them a type of schedule, but he is in touch with them constantly to try and build something. And finally, we have NOAM Ukraine. Lena and Rabbi Reuven Stamov and the NOAM Madrichim are really doing incredible work in Ukraine. I don't think they've ever been busier. For example, NOAM has a weekly meeting with their Madrichim from all over Ukraine to discuss the programming of that week. They conduct meetings with NOAM youth almost every day, talking about the upcoming holidays, such as Shavuot, Yom Yerushalayim, Lag BaOmer, etc. In addition to weekly Hebrew lessons, Kabbalat Shabbat together, where kids will put together a joint story to tell about Shabbat, and online classes for the kids. Last week, they had their online summer camp, which was called Just Do It. If you remember, that's a continuation from their theme from their Machane Choref in January, where they spent about 2 hours a day teaching various different topics. And I'm actually excited to report that NOAM Olami and NOAM Israel were able to take a part in this summer camp by sending 3 different videos. I personally took them on a tour of Shuk Machne Yehuda in Jerusalem to teach them some basic Hebrew words and make a fool of myself. I also sent them another video, which is kind of a step-by-step tutorial on how to make Israel's famous dish, shakshuka. I'm happy to share that with anyone who would like to learn. And NOAM Israel, actually the branch from Modi'in, sent them a video teaching them a very common Hebrew song. So it was just an amazing experience for our organization, and also honestly for me personally to be a part of this conference. It's something that really may never have happened before everything turned virtual, and I think it's really important to recognize the potential of our work during these times and the importance of working together and the ease of working together. It doesn't cost us to make a video and be a part of their programming. So those are my updates for now. I really do hope the next time we have a NOAM Olami update, we can introduce you to our new NOAM Olami director, and we appreciate all of your support. And I now turn to my colleague, Ariella, for an update on NOAM AmLat.